My name is Addison, and for years, my life was a silent scream. My father, Liam Collins, was a pillar of the community, everyone's favorite coach and neighbor. But at home, he built a prison of my insecurities. Today, at his annual charity gala, I finally gave his perfect image the funeral it deserved. And I did it with a smile. My name is Addison Collins. And my life was a snow globe. My father, Liam, loved to shake it. Addison, honey, stand up straight, Mom said, fixing my dress before the party. She's fine, Elena, Dad called from the kitchen, his voice smooth. Our daydreamer is just lost in her own world again, aren't you, kiddo? I forced a smile. Yes, Dad. My brother Mason walked in, slinging his varsity jacket over a chair. You ready for this? The whole town's gonna be here. Unlike you, Mason, she doesn't need to perform. Just don't break anything, Dad said, coming over to clap Mason on the shoulder. He winked at me. Right, Addie. The doorbell rang. It was Chloe and her mom. You look beautiful, Addison, Mrs. Bennet said, hugging me tight. Thanks, I whispered. Her hugs always felt like a shield. Okay, places, everyone, Dad announced. Remember, smiles. The house filled quickly. I saw Ben and his sister Hannah arrive. My stomach flipped. I was carrying a tray of drinks, my hands sweating. I just had to get to the patio table. Looking good, Mason. I heard Dad boom from across the room. That's my future state champion. I focused on the tray. Almost there. Then my foot caught the edge of the rug. The world tilted. Glasses flew. A wave of pink lemonade crashed across the hardwood floor, soaking my shoes and Hannah's dress. Silence. Then a gasp. Oh, Addison, Mom sighed, rushing over with a towel. Hannah jumped back. My dress. I'm so sorry, I stammered, my face burning. I'm so sorry. Then I heard his laugh. It was too loud. Dad walked over, shaking his head with a big, theatrical smile. And there she is, folks. My daughter, Addison, he announced, his arm going around my stiff shoulders. Grace isn't just a name, it's a quality. And this one? 2 left hands. A few people chuckled nervously. Liam, my mom said softly. What, honey? It's funny. Look at her face, he said, squeezing me. I'm just kidding, sweetheart. But seriously, if you can't hold a tray, what are you going to do? Write a book about it. The laughter grew. Polite, but real. I saw Ben look away, uncomfortable. I saw Hannah smirk as she dabbed her dress. Dad, please, I whispered, tears blurring my vision. Don't get emotional on us now, he said, his voice dropping, just for me. The smile never left his face. It was a joke. Clean this up. He gave my shoulder a final pat and turned back to his guests. More drinks, everyone. Mason, help your sister. I knelt in the sticky mess, gathering shattered glass. The hum of conversation started again, easy and bright, flowing right over me. I heard Chloe's voice. Let me help you. But I couldn't look up. I just saw my reflection in a broken piece of glass on the floor, distorted, small, and drowning in a puddle of something sweet and pink. The snow globe wasn't just cracked. It was in pieces. And I was left inside, cutting my hands on the edges. The laughter followed me to school. It echoed in the hallway chatter. Heard you took out the whole punch bowl, Collins, a guy from my math class said, grinning. I just looked at my shoes. At home, Mom found me in my room. Addison, come eat. I'm not hungry. She sat on my bed. He didn't mean it, honey. You know how he is under pressure. The party was important to him. It was his birthday, I said, my voice hollow. Not a corporate merger. Addison, please. Don't make it worse. You know how he is. The chain clicked into place. Silence was easier. Mason barged in later. You're still moping? It was a joke. Toughen up. Get out. Whatever. Drama queen. The next day, Chloe wasn't having it. We were at her house. It was cruel, Addie. It was publicly cruel. You don't do that to someone you love. He loves me. He just has a harsh way of showing it. I parroted the line I'd heard my whole life. Does he? Her mom walked in, carrying laundry. She paused. Addison, can I talk to you? We sat at the kitchen table. Mrs. Bennet's voice was quiet. What your father did at that party. It's a pattern. The comments about your writing, your weight, your feelings, that's not discipline. It's degradation. I stared at a crack in the table. He wants me to be better. No, honey. What he's doing is emotional abuse. It's not love. It's control. The word hit me like a physical thing. Abuse. It felt too big, too dramatic. For spoiled girls. Not for girls in nice houses with coach dads. But it planted a seed. That night, I dug out an old, blank journal. I didn't write a story. I wrote a fact. October 14th, Dad's birthday party. Spilled tray. He told the whole room I had 2 left hands and would never be hired. Laughed. Hannah Lawson laughed. Ben Turner looked away. Mom said, you know how he is. It was like a pressure valve opened. I kept writing. October the 20th, got an A on history paper. Dad said, an A dash? Your brother got straight A's without trying. Guess the writing daydreams are a distraction. November 3rd, cried after a fight with Chloe. Dad walked past my door and said, the dramatics again, Addison? Put a lid on it. Witness, Mason. He snorted. The facts were my armor. Months later, Dad called a family meeting. The annual charity gala is in 6 weeks. It's huge this year. Mason, you're on guest liaison. Elena, decor. Addison, he said, turning to me with that polished smile. You're creative. You're in charge of the sentimental slideshow. Family photos, community shots, the works. Make us look good. It was an order. A way to keep me useful, but silent. A prop. I started that night, using his old laptop. I dug through digital albums, Vacation 2018, Mason's Championships. So perfect. Then I saw a folder. Gala Admin Archive. It was password protected. His usual password didn't work. I tried Mason's birthday. It opened. It wasn't photos. It was spreadsheets. Columns of numbers. Bank routing numbers. Invoices from dummy companies. Floral design, $5,000. The gala never had flowers over 1,000. My heart hammered. I opened an email chain. It was between Dad and an account named Klein Holdings. Liam, the transfer to the Kaiman account is complete. The charity ledger shows the venue fee as $20,000. Pleasure doing business. I scrolled. More emails. More transfers. All disguised as gala expenses. All siphoned from the Collins Family Charity Fund. The community pillar. The beloved coach. He was hollow. He was stealing from the very people he pretended to champion. The old fear rose in my throat, icy and familiar. Don't say anything. You'll ruin everything. You know how he is. But then I looked at my journal, open on the desk. My facts. My pain. This wasn't just my pain anymore. This was his crime. And for the first time, I felt a furious, terrifying spark of hope. The dress was black. Simple. I chose it for me. You look nice, Addie, Mom said, her smile strained as we entered the ballroom. She looks presentable, Dad corrected, adjusting his tie. Remember, just start the slideshow and fade into the background. Understood. Understood. The room was a sea of sequins and suits. I saw everyone. Mr. Harris, the mayor. Ben's parents. Chloe gave me a small wave from a corner table where she sat with Mrs. Bennet. A local news camera was set up near the stage, its red light off. Dad took the podium. The room hushed. Friends, community leaders, family, he began, his voice warm honey. Tonight is about integrity. About giving back. It's about the values we instill in our children. He gestured to our table. My son, Mason, a testament to hard work. My wife, Elena, my rock. He paused, his eyes finding me. And my daughter, Addison, put together our little photo montage tonight. So, without further ado, he gave me a condescending nod. Little montage. I stood. My heels clicked on the hardwood, loud in the quiet. I felt 100 eyes on me. But the fear was gone, replaced by a cold, solid weight. I reached the podium and looked at him. For a second, our eyes locked. His held a silent warning. Mine held nothing he recognized. I clicked the remote. The screen didn't show a beach vacation. It showed my handwriting, scanned and projected 20 feet tall. Asterisk, why can't you be more like your brother? Dad, September 12. Asterisk. A confused murmur rippled through the crowd. I leaned toward the microphone. My voice didn't shake. My name is Addison Collins. For years, you've seen a perfect family. Let me show you the cost. I clicked. Another journal entry. Called me dramatic for crying after my first college rejection. Told me to put a lid on it. Witness, Mom. She said nothing. I clicked. Said my dream of being a writer was a nice hobby for a simple mind. I clicked. Laughed and told a room full of people I had 2 left hands and no future. August 18th. I didn't yell. I just narrated. This is what integrity sounds like at home. The room was dead silent now. I saw Hannah's hand fly to her mouth. Ben was staring at me, his face pale. Chloe was crying. Mrs. Bennet nodded, slow and sure. My mother had tears streaming down her frozen face. Mason studied the tablecloth as if the meaning of life was woven into it. My father was half out of his seat. Addison, this is not funny. Turn that off. I looked right at him. It was never funny, Dad. I clicked to the final slide. It wasn't my journal. It was a spreadsheet. His spreadsheet. The one from the archive folder. The dummy invoices, the Kaiman account details, were crystal clear for the entire town to see. But this isn't just about me, I said, my voice ringing out. It's about where the money for this wonderful charity actually went. The gasp was collective. The mayor stood up. The news camera's red light blinked on. My father's face turned a deep, purpling red. Pure, undiluted panic. She's lying. That's forged. She's a spoiled, lying little. The passwords are your son's birthday, Dad, I said quietly into the mic. You always did love him more. The room erupted. Shouts of "what is this?" and "call the police" mixed with the sound of chairs scraping. My father was surrounded, people yelling, pointing at the screen. I just stood there. The remote was light in my hand. I had never felt so heavy, or so free. The perfect performance was over. His, and mine. The police came that night. They asked me questions in a quiet side room. Are these your journals, Miss Collins? Yes. And you found these financial files on his laptop? Yes. I answered facts. Just facts. The story didn't break as a charity scandal. The headline read, "Local hero exposed, the tyrant behind the trophy." The karma was natural. Brutal. His business partners sued him for fraud. The school district removed his name from the athletic wing. Old friends crossed the street to avoid him. Mom fell apart, then she put herself back together. Different. She came to my room 2 weeks later, her eyes red but clear. I'm leaving him. I found an attorney. Mom. I should have left years ago, she said, her voice firm in a way I'd never heard. I let him use my silence. I'm sorry, Addison. I was afraid, too. Mason found me at the kitchen sink a few days after that. Hey, he mumbled. Hey. He scuffed his shoe on the floor. I heard what you said. About the password. About being used. I didn't turn around. He'd say stuff about you to me, Mason said, the words rushing out. And I felt better. Like I was winning. I didn't see it was a game where we both lost. I'm sorry. It wasn't a great apology. But it was real. The climax came in a sterile lawyer's office, not a screaming match. He was a shell. His suit hung loose. Addison, he pleaded, his voice ragged. You have to tell them you were confused. That you made a mistake. We can fix this. I looked at him. Really looked. The fear in his eyes was familiar. It was mine, once. No, I said. Please. I'm your father. You were, I said. No. I wasn't confused. I was documenting. The power shift wasn't dramatic. It was the silence after my words. He had nothing left to say. The fear was finally his. I moved into a small apartment with Chloe for senior year. I started therapy. Your feelings are not defects, Addison, my therapist said. They are data. I wrote. Not in a secret journal, but on my laptop. I wrote about the snow globe. About the sound of a room laughing. About the word abuse and how it fits, even in a nice house. The Gazette published it. The Cost of a Perfect Picture, by Addison Collins. My phone buzzed for days. Messages from kids I barely knew. This was my dad, too. Thank you for saying it. Tonight, I'm in my own apartment. Just me. A can of paint, a soft, warm blue, is open on the drop cloth. Music plays from my phone. My hands are steady. There's no one to shake the world. I dip the roller, spread the color across the blank white wall. It's not perfect. The edges are messy. It's mine. The quiet isn't empty. It's full of my own breath. My own thoughts. The profound peace of being believed first by Chloe and Mrs. Bennet, then by my mom, by strangers who read my words. Finally, by me. I am no longer the girl inside the glass, waiting for the next tremor. I am outside. I am the artist. The wall is my canvas, and the color, finally, is my own.